Hook. You ever have one of those moments when your world collides in the most unexpected, jaw-dropping way? Imagine this: you're sitting in your quiet lake cabin, sipping coffee, trying to have one of the most important conversations of your life with the federal judge, when suddenly the door bursts open and in storms the one person you swore you'd never see again, the HOA president, the same woman who had spent years making your life miserable. And in that moment, with the judge watching everything unfold, a broken bar, my entire fight, my dignity, and my peace were all on the line. Stick with me, because what happened that day changed not just the fate of my cabin but the very power that homeowners like you and me have against toxic HOA''s. The cabin was more than wood, nails, and a roof over my head. It was my sanctuary. My father built it with his bare hands, and every inch of that cabin smelled of pine and memories. Summers on the lake, winters by the fireplace, my children learning to fish off the dock. But it wasn't just retreat, it was the last piece of my family's history I had left. When I moved there full-time, though, I stumbled into a nightmare, an HOA one I never signed up for, one I didn't even know had jurisdiction. Swooped in and declared that my land was under their authority. They started with letters, ugly, threatening ones. Paint your cabin a different shade. Remove your dock. Pay $1,200 in annual dues. At the center of it all was Karen. Not just any Karen but the queen bee of the HOA. Her lipstick always too bright, her smile as sharp as broken glass, and her obsession with control unmatched. She would walk my property line, snapping photos, lecturing me about community standards. My dock, my porch swing, even the color of my shutters were somehow against the rules. I fought back at first, calmly. I explained that my land wasn't even inside their HOA boundaries. But Karen wasn't listening. The fines stacked up, the threats of lawsuits grew louder, and soon my mailbox felt like a war zone. Every time I tried to relax at the cabin, my stomach knotted in fear of the next letter. It reached a point where I couldn't just shrug it off anymore. They placed a lien on my cabin, on my family's cabin. That was when I knew this wasn't just about paint colors or dock dimensions. This was about power, and I wasn't about to lose the one place that held my father's legacy. So I did the unthinkable. I filed a federal lawsuit against the HOA. And that's how, one brisk autumn morning, I found myself in my cabin with a laptop open, staring into the calm eyes of a U.S. district judge over Zoom. The judge's voice was steady, deep, and reassuring. He wanted to hear my side, my evidence, my heart behind the fight. I explained everything: the deeds, the maps, the intimidation, the way Karen had weaponized bureaucracy to suffocate me. For the first time in years, I felt seen, heard. The judge leaned forward on his camera, nodding. "This isn't just about your property," he said. "This is about abuse of power." And right when my chest swelled with relief, a broken bar, the storm hit. The cabin door slammed open so hard the hinges rattled. And there she was, Karen, standing in my doorway like she owned the place, cheeks flushed with fury, waving a thick binder of HOA rules. "You don't belong here," she screeched. "This cabin is in violation of Section 3B, Article 7. You cannot ignore the HOA." I froze. The judge on my laptop raised his eyebrows, clearly witnessing the meltdown in real time. My heart pounded. Years of humiliation and harassment had boiled down to this very moment. I tried to speak, but Karen barreled forward, pointing her manicured finger at the camera. "And who are you?" she demanded. "This is HOA business." The judge calmly leaned closer, his voice colder now. "Ma'am, I am a U.S. District Judge, and you have just walked into federal proceedings uninvited." The silence that followed could have shattered glass. Karen's face strained of color. For once, she was speechless. I'll never forget what the judge said next. "Mr. Reynolds, that's me. This woman's behavior is exactly the type of harassment we take seriously in cases like yours. And now, we have it on record." It felt like the air returned to my lungs. For the first time, Karen didn't have the power. She didn't have the last word. She turned on her heel, muttering threats under her breath, and stormed out. But here's the thing: her storm didn't destroy me this time. It built my case stronger. The judge extended the hearing, requested immediate filings, and told me, We're going to make this right." That day wasn't just the turning point in my lawsuit, it was the turning point in my life. Diaresis. By the end of this story, I want you to know one thing: no matter how powerful or untouchable someone seems, the truth matters, persistence matters, and sometimes, standing up for your peace is the bravest thing you can do.